Welcome to Bedtime Stories in 10 Minutes. Today, we're diving into the world of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl. Join us as we journey with young Charlie Bucket through Willy Wonka's wondrous chocolate factory. Charlie lives with his parents and 4 bedridden grandparents in a tiny, dilapidated house. They are very poor and often struggle to have enough to eat. His father works tirelessly at a toothpaste factory, but the family barely makes ends meet. The golden ticket is Charlie's only hope for a better future. It promises a tour of Willy Wonka's magical chocolate factory and a lifetime supply of chocolate. If you'd like to own this classic tale, consider getting a copy from Amazon or the audiobook from Audible. Introduction to characters and setting. In a small town, we meet Charlie Bucket, a kind and humble boy from a poor family. He lives in a tiny, drafty house with his mother, father, and his 4 grandparents, all of whom are bedridden. The Buckets can barely afford food, and Charlie is often hungry. Despite his circumstances, Charlie is a loving and generous child, always putting his family's needs before his own. Each day on his way to school, he walks by the Grand Wonka Chocolate Factory, the most famous chocolate factory in the world, owned by the mysterious Willy Wonka. The town is buzzing with stories about Mr. Wonka, who is known for inventing mind-boggling candies and chocolate, like chocolate rivers and everlasting gobstoppers. However, no one has seen Mr. Wonka in years. Rumors swirl about the factory's mysteries, especially after Mr. Wonka fired all his employees to keep his secrets safe and locked the factory gates. It has continued to run, operated by mysterious workers known only to Wonka himself. When the announcement of the golden tickets is made, Charlie's family is filled with excitement and hope. His grandparents, despite their frailty, are animated and eager, dreaming of the possibilities. Charlie's mother, a kind and caring woman, is hopeful but realistic, knowing the odds are slim. His father, a hardworking man, is determined to support his family through thick and thin. Charlie himself is filled with wonder and determination, dreaming of what it would be like to step inside the magical factory. Willy Wonka's golden ticket announcement. One day, a huge announcement rocks the town. Mr. Wonka is inviting 5 lucky children to tour his factory through a contest. 5 golden tickets have been hidden inside Wonka chocolate bars, distributed worldwide. The media frenzy is unprecedented, with reporters covering every detail of the announcement. People across the globe rush to buy Wonka bars, dreaming of winning a ticket. Each ticket entitles the child to a once-in-a-lifetime tour of the factory and a lifetime supply of chocolate. The excitement is palpable as everyone hopes to find one of the elusive golden tickets. The hunt for golden tickets. Soon, the winners of the golden tickets start to emerge. The first ticket is found by Augustus Gloop, a boy from Germany whose main characteristic is his constant appetite and gluttonous nature. His family and friends cheer as he proudly shows off his ticket. Next is Veruca Salt, a spoiled girl from a wealthy family. Her father, determined to make her happy, has his factory workers open thousands of Wonka bars until they find her a ticket. Veruca celebrates with her parents while the factory workers cheer in the background. The third ticket goes to Violet Beauregard, a girl obsessed with chewing gum. She's competitive and has a boastful personality, constantly seeking attention. Violet shows off her ticket to her friends, who react with a mix of awe and jealousy, while her parents celebrate. The fourth ticket is discovered by Mike TV, a boy who is obsessed with television and gadgets, representing distraction and detachment from reality. Mike shows his ticket to his family, who react with a mix of pride and concern over his obsession. Charlie dreams of winning, but his family can't afford to buy him more than 1 Wonka bar for his birthday, which, to his disappointment, does not contain a ticket. Just as Charlie is beginning to give up hope, he finds a coin on the ground and decides to buy a final Wonka bar. Against all odds, Charlie discovers the 5th and final golden ticket. He and his Grandpa Joe are thrilled, and Grandpa Joe, full of youthful excitement, decides to accompany Charlie to the factory. On arrival at the factory and meeting Willy Wonka. On the day of the tour, all the winners gather at the factory gates, their eyes wide with anticipation. The factory's exterior is a marvel, with towering chimneys and intricate designs that hint at the wonders inside. Mr. Wonka appears, a quirky and charismatic figure dressed in a purple velvet coat and top hat. The children whisper excitedly to each other, while the adults look on with curiosity. His manner is eccentric and whimsical, filled with jokes and riddles. "Welcome, my dear guests," Wonka exclaims. "I am Willy Wonka, and I have been eagerly awaiting your arrival." "Thank you, Mr. Wonka," says Charlie, his eyes shining with excitement. Willy Wonka leads the children and their guardians into the factory, unveiling a world beyond their wildest dreams. The factory is filled with rooms beyond imagination, each one more fantastical than the last. The first room is the Chocolate River Room, a lush green paradise where a chocolate river flows like a stream, complete with a waterfall. The river is thick and creamy, with a rich dark brown color that glistens under the lights. The children and their parents marvel at the sight, their eyes wide with wonder and excitement. Mr. Wonka explains, "This is the chocolate river, my pride and joy. It's made of the finest quality chocolate, constantly churning to keep it fresh and smooth." Augustus Gloop, unable to resist the temptation, eyes the river hungrily. Ignoring Mr. Wonka's warnings, he leans over the river to drink the chocolate. Mr. Wonka shouts, "Stop! It's not safe!" But Augustus pays no heed. Suddenly, he loses his balance, falls into the river, and is sucked up a glass pipe leading to the fudge room. The Oompa Loompas, Wonka's small and mysterious workers, sing a song about Augustus's gluttony, pointing out the dangers of excess. Next, the group enters the inventing room, a place filled with bubbling concoctions, whirring machines, and experimental treats in various stages of development. Mr. Wonka proudly shows off his latest inventions, including ice cream that never melts and candy balloons that can be inflated to any size. Violet becomes fixated on a piece of gum that contains a 3-course meal. She is thrilled by the idea, despite Wonka's warnings about the gum not being ready for consumption. As she chews the gum, Violet initially enjoys the flavors of tomato soup, roast beef, and blueberry pie. But soon, her skin turns blue and she begins to swell, transforming into a giant blueberry. Violet's eyes widen in shock as her body expands uncontrollably. The other children and their parents gasp in horror, while Mr. Wonka looks on with concern. The Oompa Loompas roll her away to the juicing room, singing about her downfall due to her overconfidence and refusal to heed warnings. The tour then moves to the nut room, where trained squirrels meticulously sort good nuts from bad. Willy Wonka explains that the squirrels are specially trained to detect the finest nuts. Veruca, fascinated by the squirrels, demands one for herself. "I want a squirrel," she insists, ignoring Wonka's protests. The squirrels, sensing her as a bad nut, swarm her and push her down a garbage chute, followed closely by her frantic father. Once again, the Oompa Loompas sing, highlighting Veruca's spoiled nature and her sense of entitlement. In the television room, Mr. Wonka demonstrates his latest invention, which transports chocolate bars directly onto TV screens. The room is filled with futuristic technology, with screens of all sizes and advanced gadgets blinking and whirring. Mike, obsessed with television and gadgets, volunteers to try it himself, ignoring the risks. The room buzzes with excitement as he steps forward. He is shrunk to a few inches tall, and the Oompa Loompas carry him off to be stretched back to normal size, singing about the perils of overindulgence in media. The other characters gasp in shock, and Mr. Wonka looks concerned as Mike's parents react with horror at their son's tiny size. By the end of the tour, Charlie is the only child left. Mr. Wonka reveals that the tour was actually a test to find an heir for his chocolate factory. Wonka was looking for a child who was kind, humble, and trustworthy, traits he finds in Charlie. The story concludes with Mr. Wonka taking Charlie and his family to live in the factory, where Charlie will eventually take over as the new owner, securing a bright future for himself and his family. Mr. Wonka hands over a golden key to Charlie, symbolizing his new role. Charlie hugs his family tightly, tears of joy streaming down their faces. Mr. Wonka reassures them, saying, "You have nothing to worry about. Charlie has proven himself to be the perfect successor." As they explore the factory, Charlie proudly shows his family around, their faces lighting up with wonder. The chapter ends with Charlie standing confidently, ready to embrace his future, with his family by his side and Mr. Wonka's approval. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory teaches us valuable lessons about humility, kindness, and the consequences of unchecked behavior. Each child's experience in the factory serves as a lesson on the importance of self-control, generosity, and integrity. After their adventures, Charlie and his family find joy and prosperity in the factory, while the other children learn to reflect on their actions and grow from their experiences. If you enjoyed this retelling, please like the video and subscribe to our channel, Bedtime Stories in 10 Minutes, for more classic tales told with heart.